Hi, good morning. My name is Max Dobler. Many of you may know my lovely husband, Carl Cade. While I'm not a member here, I come to you from a rival theological sect, the Quakers. I could not turn down this opportunity and invitation to come here and talk about my favorite subject, which is myself. I graduated from college in 2009, and with the world economy imploding, I found myself with a liberal arts degree, marginal career prospects, and no plans beyond moving out of my dorm room. Faced with that situation, I did what any reasonable person would do. I moved to Los Angeles to live on a couch and skateboard down mountains. The plan was to influence the emerging downhill skateboarding subculture through photography and writing. I assumed that this was an unreasonable goal and that I would go find a real career after about a year or so. To my surprise and my parents' deep disappointment, the downhill skateboarding thing worked out. And I found work as a photographer, writer, videographer, and pro writer. I brought my values to that work, becoming the first openly gay pro skateboarder, and using my influence to lift up people who had been historically excluded from a very bro-dominated subculture and industry. After some years of traveling the world and seeing how regional variations in topography, geology, and landscape architecture shaped local skateboarding communities, I realized that my pro model board royalties were not enough to pay for the first aid supplies that I was going through to treat my road rash. As such, I started looking around for something else to do with myself. Over those years, I had watched as a bunch of friends of mine had moved away or embraced van life in order to escape Los Angeles' high rents. It occurred to me that middle-class people with office jobs choosing vehicular homelessness was somewhat unusual, even among skateboard dirtbags, and that the structural forces that had produced the roads, drainage ditches, parking lots, and plazas that we were skating in might have had something to do with why housing costs so much and why so many of my friends had to move out of state. I wanted to do something about that, and so I retired from extreme standing and enrolled in urban planning graduate school. The plan was to go into public service and use my position as an unaccountable bureaucrat to approve more homes. Instead, I wound up in advocacy, writing legislation to make it easier to build in-law units. This work is similarly guided by my values. San Francisco cannot claim to be a beacon of freedom and liberation while refusing to build homes for newcomers. Welcoming the stranger means being okay with change in your neighborhood to give that stranger somewhere to live. All of this is to say that it's fine to be unsure of what to do with yourself at any age. I did not become the retired cool person and moderately successful nonprofit policy professional who stands before you today by carefully plotting out my career years in advance. Rather, I've been kind of winging this whole adulthood thing for a while, and I've had some pretty good time just by looking for ways to make myself useful in the communities that I care about and on behalf of causes that matter to me. And you guys can do this too. Just do whatever, it's fine. Thank you.